Okay, so we are recording. This is Tabletop Talks. I think we're on series 9 now, or episode 9.
Yeah.
Welcome to everybody. I've got Sachin on the line. So these Tabletop Talks really are designed to help you develop your business and about things that are pertinent at the time. Sometimes if you're dealing with an issue, then I'll talk about that and address that. And really, it's all about mindset and developing forward or moving forward. And really, I think what I want to talk about today is kind of the work-life balance, because as you know, we've been having a quick conversation about me being over in Scotland, taking some time out and just enjoying kind of doing not a lot, just having conversation and drinking and just carrying on. And sometimes we need that. Sometimes we need to have that balance. And there's a lot of people talk about the work-life balance. A lot of companies are really into the work-life balance. And I've got to be quite honest with you and say that I used to poo-poo the whole thing. Work-life, but who needs a work-life balance? Just get on with the job. Just get on with the job, get the job done, and when you're finished, then, find out what you've done and then do something else and get on with it. Never mind all this rest and relaxation. No one needs that. That was me. And that was probably been me for a long time. And let me tell you what kind of happens is that you get into this whole work thing. Your whole life becomes work. And nobody really is interested in doing business with anybody that's just talking about work, because no one really wants that. People want the lifestyle, but more importantly, whenever I've taken time out of something, you always come back refreshed. You always come back with new ideas. You switch off, ideas percolate, you get new ideas, you springboard to other things, and that's really what I want to sort of talk about today. And it is how to really maximize you as an entrepreneur by taking time out. And I think it's really, really important to do that. I mean, Sachin, what would you add to that?
John, it for sure, is required, because it's the same with me. I work 6 days a week, right? I mean, not really. I'm not a typical 9 to 5 guy. I am an at-will guy. I might be working at 5 in the morning, at 10 in the night, or I might go off for a beer on a Friday noon. So, yes, taking a time off and taking a time off the job at hand professionally, it does really help you get back to things with that much more vigor and that much more energy. So, yeah, I do that. I also do that myself.
Yeah. I think the other thing as well is that we always have parts of our entrepreneurial lives where we do something and then suddenly we go off in a different direction. And I used to see this a lot with martial arts. So I've taught martial arts for a long time, and you see people going through the different stages. They're approaching the black belts, and then they start making gradual improvements. They get the black belt, and suddenly they go off in a different direction. You think, what's happened to this person? What have they done? What is it? What's going on? And a lot of that is to do with self-belief, and when you take the time out, sometimes you can realize that actually you understand more than you thought you did, and you come back and you go off in that direction because you're re-energized and you're ready. And you kind of find this. There are always points in your life sometimes that allow you to go into a gear and really take off and really move to the next level. We always talk about this in business. You can go to the next level. Well, what's it really mean? What's it really mean when you say go to the next level? Does it mean you're going to suddenly start earning lots of money, or what is it? And going to the next level, you think about stepping stones to success. And it's all a balance of all the different ingredients. Don't just do the work and have that balance of work and rest. Okay, have the balance of work and then learn. Okay, because a lot of people are in the perpetual learning cycle and they never actually go and do anything. So to have this complete balance that works off each other. So you're gonna like a stepping stone. You're gonna learn, and you're gonna then implement. You're gonna work, and then you're gonna rest. You're going to then work, and then you know what I mean. So everything is like a wheel, constantly turning, constantly evolving, and you're constantly going to where you want to be, which is, you know,
Sure. And another
yeah,
thing which I've seen personally is taking a time out is, beyond the statement, it allows you to give a different perspective also to whatever you've been doing. You know, you can shut off from being focusing on one particular thing for some time. It allows you to analyze what you've been doing. You know, it gives you a different perspective. I'll tell you how I can relate to it more. Now, for the past week or so, less than a week, I've been doing the MOOC steps, right? So I'm at step 6 now.
yeah,
Now, morning, what happened? Every day I've been, kind of listening to reading, listening, reading, listening. Today morning, I didn't do it. Coincidentally, what happened? I got a video from McLauchlan because those emailers whereby there was a video which was the question was where does Mo go in the next 12 months?
yep,
And that video, when I listened to it, it kind of fueled my mind with a different thought because Matt was explaining his vision of the company,
yeah,
which as an possible affiliate, I kind of it gave me a different perspective as to, oh, this is how what the company is trying to do, or this is what the vision is. And that is what when I got back to you and asked, John, what does it mean? How do you interpret it? So when you explained and when I listened to it a couple of times,
yeah,
then it has reinforced whatever I've been thinking. Same thing, switching off, not necessarily being in the same flow, allows you to interpret again and reassess, the complete situation.
yeah, yeah. That's it. And again, coming down to perspectives and listening to things with a different perspective or a different mindset, is everything. And we've all been in this situation where you think about someone's name and you talk about someone's name, and me and my dad were having a conversation about the Formula One, the Grand Prix, the Formula One, and we were talking about Nicky Lauda, and I couldn't get his name out. And I do this quite often. And I said to my dad, "Oh, what do you think about the interview with what's his name?" And I got Lineker in my head, and I thought, well, it's not Lineker, it's something else. And your brain searches for that name, and your brain goes in search for it, and eventually, oh, it's Nicky Lauda, and you go, oh, it's fantastic, yeah, that's great, But your brain does this. And you've got to set the right state and the right mindset for your brain to come out with the right conclusions. And by taking time out, you're giving your brain that thinking time to come up with the solutions that you want. But the really important thing is that you need to feed your brain with the right questions to get the right answers. And I know a lot of people who start with different businesses and that sort of thing, and they go on with, okay, I don't really think I can do this. I think it might be a scam. So let me find out if it really is a scam. Okay, so that's the question they set the brain. So something happens, and they go, that's it. It's a scam because this happened, or because that happened, or I got an email the other day from someone saying, this business was no good, and the brain goes out. So whatever question you give your brain, it will come back with a solution. And I know we're going off a little bit, but if you say to your brain, okay, show me a way to make $100,000 in my first year of business. Now, a lot of people will say, well, I can't really do that because I've never been able to make more than 20. So what makes me think I can do 100? So therefore they don't put the question out. So the brain doesn't go for the solution, But if you say, okay, give me some solutions of how I could make 100,000. Okay, because I'm going to do it. The brain then goes off and thinks about it and comes back with a number of different solutions. And a lot of people will say, well, what you're doing is you're implementing the law of attraction. Well, no, you're just giving your brain solutions to go out and find what you need to find. You're just opening up those pathways. And believe you me, taking the time out to just allow that this brain, or everyone's brain, what does it use? Like 4% of its power, its capability. you know, we're capable of so much more. We really are. And my thoughts before going away was, well, I've got to continually work. I've got to continually keep going because you know, these are my goals. I've got to keep going. And you know, just taking the time out to allow your brain to come up with those solutions makes a massive difference.
It does.
Yeah, yeah. So you know, if you're again, Sachin, you're making some great strides in this. Your mindset is developing. I think. I mean, how have you found things since last time we spoke?
Uh, I've from the last time we spoke, one thing which I've realized is that the brain needs to be taught. Very honestly, I mean,
It needs to be
unfortunately,
taught.
it needs to be taught. It
Yeah,
needs to be fed with the right kind of information. You know,
yeah,
you just
yeah,
cannot let it wander off. You
yeah,
just let it loose. And unfortunately, you know, I was thinking that why haven't I done it for so much of time? I mean, why have I let so much of time pass away, not
yeah,
training my mind? But then that's how it is. I mean,
yeah,
so yes, you need to train it. You need to feed it with, you know, good things.
yeah.
Positivity is one of them. So that's fine. Yes, you need to do that.
But we sometimes find that, you know, when you're left, when first of all, if you're not aware of how to train your brain, then you end up in a situation most people find themselves in through no fault of their own. So you end up going to work, you end up adopting the culture of work. So, like when I was in the police, there was a very big police culture or canteen culture, as they called it, where everybody would kind of follow the pattern. And I never did that. I always kind of did my own thing, and you know, I didn't really, I wasn't really into the whole culture. But you get embroiled in the culture. You come home and watch the TV. You know, your mind is brainwashed with the TV and all the media nonsense that's on TV. So if you don't actively go and teach your brain what to do, it will just go along with what society wants you to believe. You know,
Absolutely.
and you know, you become a very good worker. Thank you
Absolutely.
very much. You know,
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
I
how have
mean,
you found?
yeah, go on, please.
All I was going to say is how have you found the training that is provided? You know, with these sort of talks and the resources and that sort of thing.
John, you know, I was reading somewhere, I don't know, maybe I think the training itself, that the training, these 21 steps basically is pretty much the common sense. I think, yeah, the Mac was saying this. This is pretty much the common sense, but
Yeah,
then, which is very uncommon.
yeah, yeah,
Everybody knows that this should be done, but very few who do it. I mean, you know, so when I go through the training, the training kind of talks back to me that this is what needs to be done. But then I ask myself, why haven't I done it?
yeah,
So the perennial questions of life are how and why, how to do this, and why it needs to be done, or why hasn't it been done. So yes, the training brings again to surface those things, steps, actions, thought process, which should have been used or now or can be used. So I can relate to that.
yeah, yeah,
I can relate
yeah,
to that.
yeah.
I can
Fantastic.
relate to a lot of questions when people ask Matt. I can relate to when I come back to you when you answer. So I can relate to what is written. Yeah, things like that.
Yeah, yeah, fantastic. And like I said in my last tabletop talk, you know, I said a 10-year-old could get through the 21 steps.
Yeah.
You know, well,
But you need to be like a 10-year-old to be able to go through it every
yeah,
morning because
yeah,
these 21 steps, what a step a day takes what? A tops 1 hour. You know, the max duration of training is what, 90 minutes. The last
yeah,
one, 22 minutes. But the
yeah.
remaining 23 and a half hours, you know, so you need to kind of you need to come back to it every day.
Mm, that's right.
That's how it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah. And like you say, common sense isn't common.
Yeah.
And that was something I was teaching, crikey, 25 years ago, back in the early 90s. Common sense isn't common, you know, and it's so prevalent now and it always was.
Really, it is.
So yeah, yeah, fantastic, good. Okay,
Yeah.
so I think I mean the conclusion there is spoken about a few different things, but the important thing really about this is, you know, work hard, but take the time out to rest and enjoy the time out with people that you want to be with. you know, and learn what there is to learn within marketing, and then go out and implement it. Go and teach people what you want to teach, and then learn yourself. And it's just that continual cycle of being successful, learning, implementing, resting. And when you get that balance, then you'll find, I think a lot of people will find that life is a lot easier, and life kind of works, and life sort of works harmoniously, I think, with what we want to achieve. So yeah, fantastic. Good. Okay. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you joining me, Sachin. Really good to speak to you again. I always enjoy these talks. All right, great. And we'll see you on Wednesday for the next one.
Sure.
All right. Take care. Thanks very much. Okay. Thanks for joining us.